Have you ever asked yourself why these people fight each other? Why are there so many wars, in the world? Why so many wars? Why never-ending wars? It's just insane. Why can't people just be happy together, live together, respect one another, like no boundaries and just be okay? I find it crazy. I find it absolutely crazy. Somebody must be eating out of war. No, come on. Somebody must be benefiting out of this, because it makes no sense that the whole nation can come together, gear up, and go die. Doesn't make sense. What's up, everybody? I hope you're doing good. It's a beautiful day. Look at me moving around with the microphone because I have to deliver to you. I appreciate you very much. Thank you very much to you for choosing us. I choose you because I love you. You're my people. If you don't think I'm your people, you can move out. You can change videos. Anyway, so it's happening in Iran. Russia is delivering weapons. So basically, Russia is delivering radars and defense missiles. These are solar air missiles for defense measures. Okay, why? Because we know exactly what's happening in Iran. They're not very much liked by America and the country that you don't name. There's a country that you don't name. If you name that country, unfortunately, your videos will be shadow banned. And by shadow banning, I mean the video will slow down. It's not, let's say you have 1 million followers. The video will only be delivered to 3,000, not 1 million. Unfortunately, there are some countries you don't speak about them, you don't talk about them, it's just very sad. I don't know how equal the world is, but anyway, that's the case. Let's get back on track. Russia has started delivering of weapons, defense weapons for Iran. These defensive weapon, defense missiles for protection of the airspace of Iran. We know exactly what happened. This happened after a couple of days. We know that the country that you don't name hit inside Iran. They were targeting a prominent leader of Ham. You can't even say that. If you say that, they just target you. You know what I mean? So this prominent person of this group was in Iran to go celebrate the new president of Iran, because Iran's president few weeks ago passed. So they have a new president. Now the leader of this group that begin with the H, Ham, went into Iran to go and celebrate the new president. Now this group is not very much liked by the country that you don't name. I'm sorry, fellas. Yeah. That's the only way we can deliver a message. The country that you don't name doesn't like this group because they don't like each other due to centuries of stories. The leader of this group that beginning with the H went to Iran. One of the most prominent person. After going to Iran, the country you don't name sent a drone with something with it, and it's boom. And that person was finished with his bodyguard. Now, Iran is infuriated about that. We can understand you targeting whoever you want to target in their country, but you don't target whoever you're targeting in my house. It's like you fighting with somebody in the street, okay? You don't like each other. When that person happens to run in my house, then you come to my house and start throwing stones and break glasses. Would you do that to somebody's house that you respect? Would you go, let's say, the neighbor's house, and you respect the neighbor because he's a good man? If somebody ran into the neighbor's house and he was throwing stones at you, would you throw the stones? You probably wouldn't, because you respect the neighbor at least. Now, if you throw the stones at the neighbor's house, it means you don't have respect for the neighbor. So the neighbor, in some way, if you don't like each other especially, will want to show you, dude, you're not going to do that, not in my house. I'm not going to allow this. Now, the Americans have said Iran is about to respond. They're going to do something about it. They're not going to let this just, no, they're not going to let that. And why will they not let that just flow? Because if you let somebody touch you in an inappropriate way for the first time, you're just giving them a visa to do it again and again and again. There must be a limit. And this is valid to any other relationship. If somebody disrespects you in a way that you don't like, you need to call them to it. You need to say, hey, I'm not going to tolerate this. Because if you do not do anything about that, what's going to happen is it's going to reoccur. It's going to be the way they act towards you. And let alone, they're going to make it much bigger. So Iran is about to respond. Everybody knows that. Americans have sent a warship very close by saying they're going to defend their friend. Okay, they're going to defend their friend, even though their friend hits inside Iran. Now, we also know that a while back, the country that you don't name hit somebody in Syria. Okay, they hit the embassy of Iran in Syria, and Iran replied. Iran hit them back, because you normally, international laws say you cannot hit somebody's embassy. You can't do that, because hitting somebody's embassy is like you hitting them in their land. You have no right to do that. That's against international laws. And Iran had to reply to that. Iran threw stuff, threw missiles, drones, and many other things to them. But they responded in a way that was not big enough not to inflame the area. They didn't want to create a real war. They just wanted to respond in a way to show them that we can reach out to you, we can reach you, we can target you. So they threw things, rockets, easy, slow missiles, which will be interfered or intercepted, stopped by the country you don't name. The goal was, let's just send them things, but let not do too much damage, because if they done too much damage, it would have turned into a big war. But they responded. While they were shooting at them, obviously Americans, ships in the neighborhood were also bombarding those things, trying to shop. They try to help each other. But now we know the country that you don't name has a very good friend. That's the United States of America. They have full access. So if they go to war, America will go to war with them. That's a reassurance for them. Iran is not alone anymore. That's a dangerous part, because Russians have come close to Iran, and because most of the Western nations have turned their back to Russia. Russia needs allies. Russia needs people that are reliable he can turn to in case things go south. So you need to make correspondence and friendship with Iran. Even though they're all part of BRICS, Russia is supplying right now stuff that Iran needs for its defense. Now, another thing is Turkey has also come forward. Turkey has also spoke very negatively toward the country you don't name, and especially the leader, saying he's very similar to that guy that finished people in Germany. He said there's no difference between him and the guy in Germany. That's what Turkey president said.
Just as 85 years ago, Hitler's Nazi parliament in Reichstag, during the genocide talk, those who gave a standing ovation to him are written in the history with shame. And those who gave a standing ovation to the lies of Netanyahu, the Hitler of today, will not be able to wash off the black stain on their hands for the rest of their lives.
He's very aggravated about that. Now, Turkey is the biggest army after the United States of America in terms of effective. So they are vicious, and they have a long history of thousands of years of war. They're not afraid. Now, this is exactly what's happening. Now, Iran has got support from Russia, from Turkey, and obviously Russia has support from China. Are we going very close to something very, very big? Now, the question is very simple, Phil. Why are they fighting? Why the need to go into somebody else's country and go finish somebody? I mean, couldn't you wait for him to come out or something? Land somewhere else? Is that a way to show them maybe we are strong enough to actually take out somebody very important in your country? Is that the message that we're trying to send? It has to be calculated. You must think well enough before you do such thing. Like, what are the gains of me hitting somebody in a country where they could be bombing us? Unless you want to show them, you know what, we actually have the technology to hit you personally in your country. So be careful. Is this right? My question again is this one. Is it okay that America supports them in spite of everything that they do? In Africa, Mali was hit by Ukrainians. They claimed it. They supported the enemies of Malians to hit Mali, and nobody made a noise about that. Now, Africans have not reacted. They have not come together. They have not spoken with one voice saying, no, we understand you and Russia have issues in Russia or in Ukraine, but don't bring your issues in Africa. Africans have not spoken. But if you dare do anything similar to Europe, all Europeans will come together. Let me remind you, when Russia attacked Ukraine, all Europeans came together against Russia. They didn't ask who started, how did this start? No. The simple fact that Russian boots were on Ukraine, all Europeans came together against Russia. Why can't Africans do that? When an African country is clearly being undermined by a European country, a Ukrainian country. With all due respect, we understand what's happening in Ukraine. We respect their fight. But that doesn't mean you have to attack Russians in African soil. For what? And taking African lives. Why can't Africans speak with the same voice? The country that you don't name always have support, unconditional support from the United States of America. Clearly. Now, why can't Africans do the same? It doesn't matter whether the country that you don't name has done wrong or good. America will always, forever be behind them. Why can't Africans do the same for each other? I don't understand. Why is it easier for Europeans to come to countries in Africa? Go to Uganda, Kenya, Rwanda, Burundi, Guinea, Nigeria, travel to Tanzania with no issues. Even if his papers are not correct, he will never have issues. But you're an African day to day. Why do you need visas to go to your neighboring country? And sometimes you don't have visa or you overstay. They will throw you in jail, if not make you pay a lot of money. Why is that? I don't understand. Let me know how you feel about this. It's always a great pleasure. God bless.